Hi, I'm Patu from freefincal. Today I had published an article on how an SIP started in September 2002 in Hindustan Unilever, or it was called Hindustan Lever then, has returned as on date an annualized return of 31% including dividends. There are several reasons I wrote this post and am making this video. Uh, there are multiple reasons, and in a backtest like this there will be plenty of confirmation bias, survivorship bias, hindsight bias, whatever you want to call it. All of them are definitely there, but the reason why I wanted to do it was I hold HUL stock. It is the largest holding in my portfolio. It's about 27-28% of my portfolio, and I wanted to do a backtest and see what if somebody had started an SIP at some point of time and so on. So I was curious when HUL was part of the Sensex, and so I looked at one of the oldest index funds, HDFC Index Fund, and HDFC Index Fund was started in July 2002, I think, and it was there right from inception. And then when I dig deeper, I found that during the 25th anniversary of the Sensex, the government of India had released a congratulatory note saying that right from inception, right from the first trading bell, actual trading date of the Sensex, which is January 1986, up to 2010, the HUL has been part of the Sensex, and since then I looked at random fact sheets from LIC Mutual Fund, Sensex Mutual Fund, and from the random checks I found that HULs more or less seems to be there. I chose September 2002 particularly because in that month, Sensex was the top. HUL was the highest. Largest stock. I should say the largest stock or the largest exposure was there to HUL in the Sensex as on September 2002, almost 15%. Since then, it has fluctuated in position. It has gone all the way down to 2%, 2.5%, 3%. It has all gone to the bottom of the Sensex and so on. But I think my to my knowledge, I think HUL has never left Sensex, and there can be a bias because of that. You can say I chose a stock which has never left Sensex and so on. But yes, I mean there are such biases. I don't deny them. But the whole point I wanted to do was, what if you looked at a stock which is a good company, it's a solid company. Of course, it has gone through some controversies. I have a link, Wikipedia link, where it talks about its cases and bad practices, etc., and so on. It did get into public trouble. What if you hold a company like that, as long as it's part of the index, and if you to boot it, at least in recent years, the Sensex the volatility of HUL has been tremendously low. I'll show that in a moment. And what if you hold a low volatility, robust company, forget the price, let it be an expensive stock, let it be overvalued, just buy the stock. I have considered a one stock a month kind of SIP, which is fairly affordable. And if you did that, then that's the kind of return that has been there in the backtest. I'm not saying this is what you will get and so on. I don't get into that kind of arguments, but it's a fairly reasonable, intuitively appealing method to buy a robust company, good stock, which the market has never devalued, of course, apart from certain periods, relatively. And if you buy a low volatility stock, which is part of the index, which is of course what I'm trying to do with my monthly stock screeners. You can see the stock screener link right here in the article menu. So, and the other reason I wanted to do was to introduce a website, simplywall.st. This is a paid website. It's got a free option, but it's got a paid website to analyze stocks and also track your stock portfolio, because I was looking for a nice portfolio manager which will give me annualized returns along with dividends. Perfios I did not like, maybe I did not explore Perfios too much, but whatever little time I spent with Perfios, I have the paid version of Perfios, the full paid version of Perfios, but I didn't particularly enjoy that. So I thought I needed something more analytical than that. Therefore, I chose this. I stumbled upon this by accident. I don't remember how now, but I stumbled upon this. I'm a paid member of this website called simplywall.st. The paid membership, what they call it, the investor plan. The regular price is about $115 US. If you search for it, you may be able to get a discounted link for about $80 and so on. That's what I used. I'm not an affiliate. I'm not doing affiliate marketing or anything, and there's nothing I have in connection with the website. It's just that I find it interesting, and therefore I am talking about it. I am trying to enter all my stock transactions into this website. Some of you had asked me what is my portfolio return and so on. Basically, to answer that, I needed a portal. So this is it. So before I show you the numbers, so you can see here for every stock they have something called as a Snowflake analysis. So they have these 5 factors: health of the company, dividend, value, future, and the past, the future prospect, past performance, and so on. So essentially, if you want to buy, if you want to buy a dividend portfolio, if you want to have a dividend portfolio, and or even if you want to have a low volatility portfolio, I'm trying to have both. Then I would prefer to have a company which has got a good health and at least a strong dividend track record. At least two regions in this. You can do a filter by actually stretching the Snowflake and say, I want a good dividend payer, I want a health, good health, I want a undervalued stock, and so on and so on. You can play around with a stock screener, but you can't do it with a free plan. You can't do much with a free plan. In my opinion, it's worth it, but if you think you don't want to pay that money, that's fine. But I think if you want that analytics, then you certainly have to pay data, but of course it depends on your usage and so on. So you can see how the Snowflake of HUL is. It's very good. It's got a very good dividend track record. It's got good health. So if you actually go and zoom in on that, it will tell you the dividend score. It will tell you the health score. It will tell you the past and so on. You'll get much better details if you actually go to the stock page. This is my portfolio page. If you go to the HUL stock page by actually searching for it here, you will get much more details about the company. I will come to that in another video. So what I liked about it is you can go to the returns report. There's a very detailed, nice returns report, and you can use it to understand what's happening with your stock, because it automatically reinvests dividends and so on. That's very important to take into account, because most stock investors don't talk about annualized return. They talk about I have 2x, 3x, I paid, but this is my buying price, that is my selling price. Forget all that. What is your annualized return? What is the impact of your dividends? How much dividends are you getting from your portfolio? That is what I want. That's what I am interested in this whole analysis. So you get a nice spreadsheet kind of thing. I don't think you can download it, but you get this much. If you start an SIP in September 2002, you would have purchased 209 shares once every month up to now. Total amount you would have spent is 12,21,127 would be the amount you would have spent over all these years. And the current value of that amount is 42 lakhs 90. Sorry, is that right? Sorry, oopsie. Oh my God. Sorry, this is 1 lakh. Getting old. 1,22,127 over the past years, and this is now 4,29,892. Sorry about that. So that's a gain, an absolute gain of. There's somewhere mentioned here. That's a total return of 252% without dividends, 273% gain with dividends. The dividends contributed to the gain of 21%. But in terms of the annualized return without dividends is 29.6%, dividends contributed 1.6%, and the total annualized return is 31.2% over all these years. So you can get these numbers for your stock portfolio. For my stock portfolio, which I will show later on, once I finish entering all the transactions, for my stock, most of the transactions will be less than a year, so there's no point in looking at annualized return, but you can have some numbers with it. Alright, so let's just go back here, and I want to show you, with just one stock portfolio, it will probably not be very interesting to look at. So you go here and, oops. So I'm trying to fool around with this. I'm still not completed everything. So if you look at this, so that's the summary which I just showed you now. It will show you the holdings. This is one stock, there's no point. It will also show you recent news. It will show you, this is nice and interesting. So the portfolio beta, that is the relative volatility of the stock with respect to the market, which I assume is Sensex. I have to check that carefully. Uh, is 0.16, which means that HUL in the last 5 years has been like 84% less volatile than the Sensex, which is astounding. You can see here. That's the portfolio, that's the market average, and that's the beta scale ranging from, it's almost practically very small beta. My own portfolio so far and the transactions I've entered is somewhere here, so it's also fairly less volatile because I'm actually buying low volatile stocks and also dividend paying stocks with reasonable low volatility. Therefore, you are getting it. Then you get the how the stock has moved up, how the portfolio has moved up over time. This is something that I also wanted. I wanted to see how the portfolio. I want this graph. Without this graph, you can't do anything. Of course, the only drawback is even in the investor plan, you cannot get the PDF report out. You can't extract the data out from this graph and so on. But you can always take screenshots, and it's not a big deal. Then you can find out contributors to return. Of course, one stock is just 100%. You can find the diversification, etc., and so on, across industries and so on. You can see. I will. This will make much more sense when I show my own portfolio. I will do that. Of course, I have to cut out the numbers and so on. It will take some time to do all that. This is, of course, just a hypothetical portfolio. So don't take these numbers too much into heart. That's not the kind of returns you will get. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say, if you focus on a good company, healthy company, which is expensive, which is part of the Sensex or the Nifty, which is low volatile, less volatile than the Nifty, low volatile in terms of its own price. That is, standard deviation is also low, beta is also low. If you focus on that relative volatility, absolute volatility, if you focus on that stock and keep buying that stock every month or every now and then, until there's some bad news about the stock. If there is bad news, bad luck. That's all. You have to sell it or do something about it. Take a call based on the kind of bad news. If you do that, then it will be rewarding. Of course, I want to point out that the choice of date also is important. I have chosen somewhere here, 2002, somewhere here. But during this period, during most of this period, you can see there's almost a 10-year period where HUL went through a sideways market between about 99 to 2010, so 2000 to 2010. So it's possible, although it was not impacted by the 2008 crash, it certainly was impacted by the 2000 crash, if that is correct. And that such things are possible even today. So you must be aware of the risks of what you're doing, and as long as you're aware, you can do it. Please explore this website, simplywall.st. You can find the link in my article. So catch you later. Let me know if you have any.